what a way to start our day here at the upper finals at Game Changers Champs. I'm now joined by the coach of Shopify Rebellion. It's Effie's now. Effie's, I wanted to ask your reaction for when Floor accidentally fell off the map, because there was a world maybe if she didn't fall off the map, you wouldn't have to go to OT.
I thought it was actually pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Floor is actually, like, she looks very serious, but she's actually, like, a very funny person. Like, she just laughed it off instantly, and, like, the vibes were still good. She saved the op.
Oh, yeah, she did indeed. And going into that overtime, I believe that was the longest overtime we've ever seen here at GCC. What was your mindset like in that overtime, and why do you think you guys are the ones to be able to close that out?
Well, my mindset is, like, I'm always super nervous. So, like, whether it's, like, 13-1 or, like, 15-17 or something, I'm always, like, stressed. I'm always super stressed. I think we just had, like, a lot of good ideas, and then we knew how they were playing towards the end, so that's what helped us close it out.
I can't wait to see some of those more ideas on map 2. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we just had the longest overtime in Game Changers Champions history. It feels like we just saw an entire series, but that was just map 1.
That map was literally longer than the last series we had. MIBR versus Zeta, 29 rounds. This ended up something over 30. Absolutely ridiculous, Mitch.
It really is. A game of attrition, a battle indeed. And look, when we started out today, we're talking about this being, to be honest, I could see a world where it could be a quick game for Shopify Rebellion, but in the hopes of most people at least, we're expecting a long game. And that first map has certainly delivered. The problem is, with the going Shopify Rebellion's way, I'm not so certain we'll get a full series out of this.
Yeah, and it just goes to show just how prepared both of these teams are for this series, for this kind of matchup that has so much on the line, right? And, you know, all of these players also just had their moment. I would say, like, you know, even the players that maybe, of course you have Floor on one side, but everybody on Shopify Rebellion came alive, as well as on G2, everybody had their moments.
Yeah, everyone absolutely did. I wanted to pull up a little telestrator here, though, and talk about some of the post plants from Shopify, because you've heard of Bunset, you've heard of Burl. Get ready for Abyss. Because Shopify Rebellion, no matter what map they're playing, they have a way that they like to play, which is the super cringe, spam-heavy off-site post plants. We start off this round, G2 is playing the very classic spam defense. You have a couple players in heaven, you're hoping to get something off your dart, but watch how Shopify is pathing into the site. They're committing pretty much every member here, Floor dashing in, you have all the util going in, but once they realize this site is open, they very quickly shift into their post plant setup. And as we watch the map, not even before that spike starts ticking, literally everyone is off the site except for Floor, who sticks around. The only reason Floor is here is just to buy time. If she gets kills, that's amazing, that's sick, but she doesn't even need to. All they're hoping she can do is buy some attention and pull resources from G2, and she's gonna do exactly that. Waits for the drone, gets spotted out here with that KO utility, and manages to get to. But even if she hadn't, this has already set up Shopify in a winning position. They're actually gonna smoke themselves off, and they do this on other maps as well, right? When you watch them play Sunset, they go B main, they smoke themselves off. You watch them play Pearl, they go B long, they smoke themselves off. They're always doing this because it's just so advantageous to play that spam when the time is on your side in the post plants. How do you beat this? The obvious answer is to fight through and try and go past these smokes, get something done. G2 attempts it, they get absolutely cooked in this round. But overall, it really has to force you to change how you play your retakes, because generally speaking, you want to be putting all your forces into the site, dumping a bunch of utility to just get back into that site. But when Shopify is spying like this, you waste so many resources, so much time, and then you're having to scramble to fight down long at the end. They're doing it in so many of their maps, and it's winning them so many attack side post plants.
It just forces you to make so many mistakes, and that's what's uncomfortable about a strategy like
it's
that,
also
right?
so cringe, by the way, to just, oh yeah, by Phantoms, we're gonna play 4 off-site and spam through a smoke. But it's stupid good right now.
But the thing is, G2 do have comebacks for that. For example, we do have this HyperX reflex moment, and this one goes to Mimi, which had, you know, everybody gasping here. Our jaws were on the floor.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is something you plan for, although you'll see some good components to it, like the paranoia that comes through to help on the second engagement. First shot, pure skill. Second, good reaction. And a little flick up top to put the real cherry on top. This is what I like to see from G2. And in this moment, I think this was a necessary play as well to give them that little bit of momentum to fire back into the map. And I think they really didn't lose sight of it either. Despite the fact they went down 6-1, we would still see things like Rescue getting hyper aggressive on B, maintaining a lot of control in an early round for their defense, allowing those rotations from the rest of the squad to go to the other side of the map where, as you said, Mimi, more often than not, the hit was coming in. And eventually when Rescue did face those challenges, she was hitting her shots. That's the more impressive thing, though, looking at the other side from Fluorescent. In those deep plays, the example we saw in the Telestrator, there's no one there awaiting them, right? Those players are pushed back and they play the retake. And you start to wonder, are you still going to be able to deliver when it comes to 3 players on the site ready for you? And as we saw throughout this game, yes, she absolutely was ready for those plays.
It's so crazy because these two teams also know exactly what the other team is going to be doing. They know those tendencies, so they're just trying to out-mind game each other. And as we're seeing right now, our agent select on Haven, no surprises for either team, so it's going to boil down to that execution.
Yeah, it is a straight-up mirror match here, and Shopify, this has been their home territory for as long as you could remember. When they were Cloud9 White, this Mel and Alexis duo has always thrived here, and in the Neon meta, it's no different. This, for my money, has been their most dominant map, and G2 goes in. Playing a mirror matchup against a floor on Neon, this is a really tough proposition.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game for Rescue, and thinking back to the 13-8 loss they had against Crew, they didn't win any pistols there, though, so maybe it would have been a closer game. They're really going to need to pull out all the stops for this one.
Well, are we going to a map 3? We're going to find out as we send it back to your casters. Here's Uber and Wyatt.
What a way to set this game up, right? I think that's pretty succinctly put by our friends on the desk, with Abyss being unable to be won by G2. They've got to go to Haven, where SR look incredible and where, frankly, Rescue would need a breakout game on Neon.
This is the first map that G2 actually played in this tournament against Crew, who displayed some seriously high-level Haven gameplay. All the way back then, Petra, after that game, in interview had said, hey, we came into this feeling kind of nervous. We were off today. We're not feeling those nerves anymore, though. They're going to have to display that today because their Haven was just not up to scratch. Rescue only dropping 9 kills in that game. The team play looking off. We need to see a new G2 right now to steal away Shopify's map pick.
And what a way to start that new look then on the pistol. Floor has already pushed up pretty closely to Garage. It's making a little bit of noise, rattling the cage somewhat. We've got the cheat up from Rescue all the way at the top of A long.
Yeah, you've got Mimi taking contact here, and then Rescue going to fight off the distraction.
Zera, though, perfectly equipped to clear this. Rescue tries to get ahead of it. That doesn't quite go the way she planned. I think hit by a recon and now has to run and dodge away down A long. Meanwhile, we've got pressure now going straight into the B side. Fluorescent wants to get in here behind this relay bolt, but Vanya was unaffected by it. And there's a double face here. Right click, Mimi from behind Vanya is also able to find Floor. And SR down to 3.
G2 can take things slow, but Amy adventurous, too much so. At least Rescue, who pushed out of A fast on the trade, and now G2 need to slow this pace down. Play to the numbers advantage and the utility advantage with Mimi still alive. They're going to have a fault line to get back in. Vanya, one dark cover as well. Rescue trip forced to be broken. Noya maybe in the perfect position.
Always hearing so much of this Vanya. Unaware, but Noya gives her position away. Oh, she's going to try and pick up the pieces, but Mimi was ready for it now with advanced warning. Mel's got it all to do here in the 1 versus 3. Vanya crumples early. Rescue challenges from the right of the box. And just gets away with their life. G2, counter to the narrative that we heard from Mitchman on the desk, get themselves a pistol on Haven, crucially.
And Rescue starting hot here. Neon has not been her best agent at this tournament. It has been the Jet, which she certainly displayed back on Abyss map 1. This is going to need to be the breakout map for her. Fluorescent has been utterly dominant on the buff to Neon, taking over every single map. It was something that Mimi pointed out as well, the danger for G2 when we head to the Neon-favored maps of Haven, and then if we get to map 3, Sunset after this, I'm ready.
All Neon for the rest of the series, in theory. G2 get, though, their dream opener. Now they were Shopify Rebellion. Plunge their way into sewer. Rescue's going to be waiting on this, though, with a rifle. Fault line could have been there to be played off, but Rescue wasn't on the line, and a pesky one-way will be put together by Vanya, who has been virtually immovable in so many of these defensive scenarios.
Shopify opting to fall back out of sewer after creating some pressure there, and G2 could certainly be thinking that they've left a player inserted. Perhaps Noya's still there on that sentinel lurk, but no, it is all of Shopify.
Zug, zug.
Towards B. just playing to get the spike down. Mimi going to feel the pressure of this horde of players trying to breach into the site. Vanya with the defensive paranoia that will stifle
Timing's
things.
good. It's perfect, actually. Vanya steps up, given nothing to see. Mel swings while under the effect of the paranoia, and Vanya cuts a bloody swath through SR. Rescue with the GTA seal, but that's fine. Round secured for the hometown team.
Not a ton of damage dealt either, so G2 will have a fair bonus buy to try and keep the momentum going. Get that Katamari ball rolling, head towards the ultimates, get the economy boosted. What a way to open this up for them. They needed a strong start on Haven.
Let's go.
After that incredibly grueling game on Abyss.
Right there.
I just love the util put together, the stall util from Vanya, followed up by the paranoia, man. Very clean. Very textbook.
SQ, the best weapon on the battlefield for G2, has that Vandal and is pressed up in sewer, trying to take an early engagement.
She's a weapon herself.
Early advantage, yeah.
3-0 for her.
Interesting for Mimi. Going forward, tucking into the cubby towards B. You know, unorthodox for a role player on this team.
Still flash for Amy to play off, though. In that corner. Just a sheriff to hand for her.
Rescue right now pushed up all the way in sewer, allowing the rest of G2 just to stack elsewhere. Noya maybe walking into a trap.
Cam is watching C, so not relevant here. Mimi just caught by that one. Noya can fall back behind a cyber cage and get all the info that she needs. Petra, oh, now they know. Now they know the rescue has gotten up behind them, making no shortage of noise there through mid-window, and is just not aware that Noya might be lingering.
I want to see if G2 maybe try to pick Noya off, or do they fight the site right now when it's more of a 3v3?
A lot for Amy to look at here. Big pings, though, as Amy's going to be forced away by the relay bolt. Aftershock as well to keep her at bay for now. Petra gets into the side from the back, and Vanya with a bucky cleans Alexis up. But Noya has the timing. She snuck up through mid, and that's her third for the round. 3v2. Vanya wants to challenge this, and my goodness, she just don't miss. What a shocky, though, from Sarah. Vanya too low to withstand that. And now 2v1, it's clean as it gets for Sarah Cat. Clean behind the ears.
Really all about Noya's play in that round, though. Sniffing out Mimi in the forward position, tucked into Cubby, and the swing from Petra to try and trade was just a little bit too late. Survived when that cyber cage had been thrown down. Catches out Rescue as well. And then that late wrap. Really well played. Noya already topping the board for SR 6-3.
Something I've noticed a little bit already. Rescue is not ready for Noya, who's playing a little bit slower, I think, than she's otherwise anticipating. Been caught twice by her now.
So fast from G2. Rescue is playing fierce at the moment. This stun could be huge, but just knows that it would be far too risky to go for an aggro play there. Fluorescent is in so deep.
She doesn't stop. She won't be halted. Rescue tries to throw up, I think, a fast lane there to obscure her position, and it's beautiful. What a snap on Alexis. Now it's Noya and Sarah. They have to put it together. Sarah inside that dark cover, looking to follow up in a great last round, and Noya can only get the one. G2 with 3.
That is the rescue we've been waiting to arrive at the tournament. Drops 20 plus on map 1. Making plays like that happen on the Neon, the agent where she has struggled the most in her duelist pool at GCC. Coming to life. Look at the speed on the flick there. Alexis already in the dark cover and just couldn't react.
After a loss on Abyss, she's already feeling herself. She's playing with such aggression on this A side.
And due to the damage that was done on the prior round, Vanya finding a lot of those kills over on that C engagement, SR had lost enough weapons that they were fully invested. Lose, and are now on the eco.
3 defense side rounds for G2. That's spectacular here. After the first 4. And SR mostly grouped up again. It will be Noya holding back.
Mimi has been getting really active on this defense so far. Vanya first engagement, trying to spray through that relay bolt. It's perfect, and the range is just not good with the shotgun. SR, how do they find 2 openings? Amy has to stabilize.
In a good position to do so, in fairness. The paranoia misses her now, and she can just shoot heads. What a flick! What an adjustment for Amy. Noya dragging herself into this to give up the ace to Amy. G2 lock it down.
That is why Amy is the foundation of G2. ever present on this Haven defense. We had seen this earlier in the tournament. She was the one dragging G2 through the game against Crew. If it would have been a blowout, if not for her play on C is so solid. Shot on the floor, the adjustment, and then, oh my god, it is just
The numbers are so good though for Shopify Rebellion. They're in a 5v3. Amy is literally 1v4 on the side.
That crosshair placement is picture perfect. So ready for that final swing.
That is so unreasonable. I'm sorry. They kind of
beyond unreasonable. SR, they were gifted 2 kills. That was such an awkward scenario for G2 with the relay bolt connecting onto Vanya, Rescue. I believe they just had a judge, but were fighting at mid-range, so they were cooked. I mean, G2 had just gifted them 2 nice little rifles, and oh my god.
It was a nasty relay bolt there from Flora. I think that may have hit both G2 players. Vanya tried to spray, and she... Well, the stars aligned a different way. She could have found a lot of damage from that position, but it doesn't matter.
Rare micro mistake from Vanya, but yeah, ultimately irrelevant. G2 goes in, are here to play.
And you shoot the head good, and it doesn't matter if you've made a couple slip-ups along the way.
It's nice when you're up 4-1, and Petra hasn't even really had a need to be in the action so far. That's when you know G2 are in rare form.
4 out of 5 in the first. All of these defense rounds so big for G2.
The timeout has been taken before what could just be an explosive round 6, factoring in the number of ultimates that are in play. So have the Hunter's Fury to work with.
Overdrives for both Neons.
That's a nice little combo to catch out a player that may even be positioned really far back for the defenders, getting in their face with the overdrive while you're hitting them with the Hunter's Fury from Serum. B-site is vacant.
Oh!
I will exploit that. Floor in real danger as the spike goes down.
The trip is way deeper than Shopify expect. Floor gets snarled up in it and gets taken down to 5. No point going for the ultimate here.
And it's just abandoned in the site. If Floor can even get 1 here, that's more than enough from her.
She's a ward, basically. Dropped here. Left embedded. Oh, you can't be serious! Floor is getting it all! Gets the one, a bit of damage as well in the second. Rescue eventually makes that flank play, but Neuer's now really in tune with that timing. Petra pushes up, aggressive, but is shut down by Mel. Vanya over the top. Neuer cannot see her right now. It's going to be a Hunter's Fury to try and stop this defuse. Amy thought to stick it. She gets to the half. That's going to be enough, but is time on their side. Neuer catches Vanya. Now plunge into the smoke. It's Amy dealing with her.
She might just have it.
Oh, Sarah, what a shock.
Just at the final moment, enough delay from that Hunter's Fury as well. Down to the wire is a goddamn understatement.
Just hear Mimi in the background. Yes, SR like to play for these cringe post-plants.
So cringe.
With all the spam,
so
all the
cringe. Oh, that is a tragic way to start, by the way. In the midst of everything that happened after.
That neural theft ping was everything.
0.23. Shock comes in. Oh my god, so much damage dealt. We're still in the economic danger zone for Shopify. Rescue with the overdrive. So deep into C, chasing, hunting down Neuer.
Mimi here knows she's about to see it all. Alexis not ready for that. Mimi gets a lot of damage as they're able to fall off this Rescue. Dero side to the rescue, gets it on the side. Alexis dealt with inside that dark cover, but Sarah emerges and Floor is there as well. Singer, Sheriff, Vandal all need to go to work here with surgical precision for G2.
Scared for Sarah there for a moment. Susceptible to a shock. Our Floor is so close up with the Bucky, but is forced back because of that Silver Jordan. Has to reposition to default now.
Laurie's lit. This is a little bit awkward. She was hoping to take a post-plant position as well, but now she hides in the smoke. Here's the spray. Floor takes a hit, but they're not convinced anyone's in here. Petra Shocky licks in the feet of Fluorescent, and there's a finish off at Mel. Of course, in the post-plant setup's able to deal with Amy.
Oh my god, they're sending the Hunter's Fury.
Is it going to be a catch? Vanya looking to get it to half. Neuer in a great spot to disrupt this. And there it is. The planters, the defuse as well is taken down. And SR climb back to 3.
A crucial rewrap from Neuer, getting out C-Long and then back into Garage to punish Petra out of the Hunter's Fury. Sarah was susceptible to just getting one-shotted by that in-long, was so low on HP in that situation.
Neuer seems to have taken upon herself as well to be shutting Rescue down whenever possible on these aggressive flank timings.
One enemy
And
remaining.
again, it's Sarah who interrupts the defuse once more.
Sarah had a sickening shot onto Rescue mid-overdrive, by the way, to halt that ultimate that was getting value. Already into this, though, the operator's been picked up by the Neon, but is just punished, strolling out of the dark cover. Petra, I mean, how is she getting away with that? Needs to fall back, needs assistance, but is just stuck here alone.
She gets the one, that's not bad, but she's forced to anchor this now. Much like Floor in the previous round. She will actually be allowed to get out. Through this attack side of dark cover, SR are waiting for a moment here, a bit of a syncopation.
And it was the right decision to get out. Mimi has the Rolling Thunder here. They can play to the retake right now. They have the superior utility. Alexis gets this down though. Rolling Thunder of Shopify's own to counter G2 on the entry.
And it's set up for a Rolling Thunder. Spike out in the open here. Perfect for Mel to capitalize on here from A-Mate. But Mimi has one of her own, Wyatt. Both Breach ultimates are online. This is about to get a little bit hectic. Here we go. A lot of tectonic activity over on the A site. High magnitude, but Amy is going to try and set up in heaven, take a brief shot before the dark cover blooms, but Mel gets rid of Petra first.
And G2 now, they are feeling the pressure of the clock. They know there's no chance of getting back in. Alexis just had far too much utility for the stall. Ultimates exchanged, but when the spike is down, obviously that is just a trade in the favor of Shopify. They're able to lock up the round because of that, and after a relentless start from G2, the score has tied at 4-4.
They've called these rounds back. It was a very slow start. SR only winning one of the first 4 rounds. Now stringing them together. G2's economy at a point where they can now start to make a grab for an extension of their lead.
Rescue invested so much into the up on the last round and
Push out of that smoke, ill-fated.
instant punish went down. Here are G2 early, again playing towards A lobby.
Odd buy here, Wyatt.
Very odd. This comp obviously excels with controlling that area of the map when you have that breach and utility to work with, that standard dark cover for control placed by Vanya as well.
Noya is determined to be Rescue's sleep paralysis team in this game.
Gotta go.
Using everything at her disposal to slow this Neon down.
Slow from SR, prodding towards C. Now looking to explore back into mid, perhaps. Tommy's cam is broken. Oh my god, the triple spam, that does
A bit of damage.
a decent amount. Floor dropped to half. Noya basically with a light armor.
They are looking to make some things happen here defensively without exposing themselves to too much risk.
Yeah, without an overcommittal. That's something they never really fall susceptible to. G2 are quite a patient team.
Mimi is actually stuck on the B side here with a fault line. Maybe she used it to get in. They're going to be fighting for it, but relay bolt from Floor connects. Amy going to try and get in as the spike's being planted. She's found 2 quick kills. Alexis has to try and find a way to get out of this sticky situation. And Sarah's going to be brought down. It's just Noya. We are in a post-plant here, but there's a lot to ask from your Cypher player. And they're lit. Neural Theft comes out. Noya almost makes it 3. Just pulling up short.
That was some sick precision with the Phantom from Noya. Amy so fast into the site though with the Vandal. Remains the rock of G2, finding that timing window to take a couple 1v1s in succession, winning them out while Alexis was trying to get the spike down, wasn't swinging onto her. Kill onto Mel, so crucial. Then they double face Alexis. The flood onto the site was executed to perfection. G2 looking so much stronger on this map than they did earlier in the tournament. They've leveled up. This is Shopify's home, and they are testing them on it.
Someone needs to tell Tyson to lock in. Shopify need the energy here. Fluorescent at the 4 here. Petra not willing to give up that corner entirely. Mimi would cover her either way.
That is forced to stall for Shopify.
Oh,
Petra
just a raw swing?
Oh yeah, not off a flash even from Mimi. No audio cue from SR. Risky, reckless, shut down, and
Petra's duelist instincts can't be quenched, I guess.
how often they can't. This was honestly one of the issues that G2 were having in their game against Crew. Petra was going for far too much on A when, often it's the role of the Sova to just play that site for retake, not take risks.
Lost a whole lot of key utility now.
Yeah, this situation was obviously a little different. She had teammates there, but so caught. Oh, and Vanya is in trouble off that neural theft. She's going to have to pop off right now. Dodge the flash, does get one, almost two.
Always Vanya getting some unreasonable value out of those situations. It hasn't really slowed up SR too much though. They are here onto the site. We're going to have two coming in from CT3, in fact, for G2. Fastlane going to be thrown up. They're going to get about it quickly. Rescue flattens Mel. She cartwheels into the wall. Alexa steps up, though. Now she's getting involved in the fragging, and Sarah goes for the Hunter's Fury. Mimi down to a paltry 70 points of health, and Noya is on the re-wrap, as she always seems to be. It's a matter of time. She's lurking, and she cleans up G2.
Always on that backstab. Her positioning has been so good. Her timings have been at the exact moment where G2 just typically have no actual chance of paying attention to her. She's just getting free kills, right? I like that G2 still tried to get in as the spike was being tapped there. It was their best opportunity when there was, you know, that kind of faux 3 versus 3 that Rescue was able to slide in.
Alexa's really wanted to get into the game there. Why?
And what a time to do it. It was the round that broke the economy of G2. Gets her first couple kills, and it was in a situation where if she had just gone down, that round might have been over.
And G2 ready to flood there from CT spawn. So now, economically speaking, we actually have a round finally where G2 are fully without the capacity to bring rifles in. Remember, they win what I would call a thrifty round with, I think, 2 or 3 Vandals and Sheriffs. That ridiculous Amy push onto the site whilst the plant was going down on B. What's the plan now for G2 goes in?
Yeah, going to take a peek at the ultimates when we get back into this. I mean, right now I'm just looking at the scoreboard where the Cypher on either side is topping it for their respective teams. And this is just the danger of this iteration of Shopify right now. Noya has leveled up in the past several months.
Purely presidential showing here.
13 for 7, the backstabs have all worked. G2 have not had the read on how to shut her down.
We are tied up here, heading into the 11th round. Just a Guardian for Vanya. She's holding that on B.
Looks like G2, they do want to go for this fast pressure. A main, once again, Rescue is up close, spamming through the cage off the dark cover place from Vanya, and a mid push.
Vanya, of course, with the key weapon here, but Mel seems to have sniffed this out. There's a lot of angles, though, to expect some aggression. Paranoia's going to shut down the Guardian play for the time being. Oh, my goodness, Floor just Geronimo's over the windowsill. And that was over almost before it started. Rescue here is a trip that she has to contend with now, and meanwhile, the spike is in a different postcode.
Can jump over it, win this maybe, but just no way she's going to be ready for Fluorescent in that off angle. Rescue would have to do something insane. She's been in good form so far on the Neon into the relay bolt.
Go, go, go.
So I'm not sure that she's in this. She's going to go for it. Yep, get it over with, see if she can make something happen. SR finally get into the lead.
Not expecting that double up in the cubby. G2 invests a lot into that out of the timeout. A strat called by the coaches. Investing.
Got a Guardian.
That Hunter's Fury went in, did a ton of damage. They were so close, truthfully. With a couple Shopify players at like, what, sub 70 HP. They were in the real danger zone. You know, Amy swinging out with the ghost, got the headshot, but just not enough.
I mean, Mel was jump scared. Floor just ran past her and belly flopped onto G2 in mid.
We've got the last round of the half rescue here, feeling the pressure. Aftershock has to use that fast lane just to evade the bullets.
U2 cover on the side, it's been good. Floor with the overdrive now active. Amy looking to come out there, emerge from Garage at the right time, but Mel is ready for it. Look at this, SR canvassing this seaside in its entirety. Floor going forward, rescue going to be brought down, but Vanya always good for one. Here comes the rolling thunder though, and Alexis can capitalize on the fact that Mimi couldn't quite get out, but she does escape. TP here to see long for Vanya. She cancelled it to make sure there's no post-part positioning get taken up by SR.
Petra sending out the recon, trying to get any amount of information, maybe cause a distraction for Vanya to get in. They are separated.
Petra and Vanya in the 2 versus 3. Petra trying to draw someone out here. Gonna play off this. Oh, she's so clever! Oh, it's all too easy!
You can't be getting away with that!
She just dangles the catnip in front of SR and they go for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
I mean, that is a comedic outplay if I've ever seen one.
That
Oh
is
my
not
God.
okay. That should not be legal in EU.
When you're too locked in and you're just tracking the dart ready to break it, that little bounce. Oh my God.
Okay. All right. It has been a half
I'm stunned, man.
of Valorant.
I'm stunned.
Ridiculous. Okay, we've got to a break. We'll come back with more of Haven, and I'm going
One enemy
to
remaining.
find my balance again. See you in a second.
And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. I just feel so good, good. I just feel so good.
Red Bull gives you wings.
After G2 goes and lose their map pick, Abyss in overtime. The doubt, the worry, the fear starts to creep in, but they put together a great defensive side on Haven. They get to 6 rounds, complete with everything you could ask for, including the heist of the century from Petra in that round 12. We are even coming out of the break, Wyatt.
And frankly, I was afraid for them on this map. They've only played it once in this tournament so far. It was the very first map that they played. It was against Crew, and they really struggled. If we didn't see a level up, it felt doomed. This is Shopify's go-to. It's been their go-to whenever it is in the map pool. And G2, they've stood up to the test. They have been quality on defense. They have to be even better on attack to close this out, to get to the decider of Sunset.
Noya watches her sandcastle get kicked. That trip is cleared out of the way. G2, for the time being, seems happy enough with that. They have a trip as well inside window, interestingly enough. Lest Floor gets a little aggressive.
Maybe gets a forward cam placed towards Garage. Getting information if there's some kind of deep mid push from Shopify. Not the case, though. Got a simple setup towards B, where that fault line is ready to go out from Alexa's back site if the pressure comes there, and then Floor can fight off of it. And Sarah's duty here is simply to get information, get out, and we'll play A for retake.
Well, I think that's pretty illuminating, don't you? 3, 4 people spotted by that recon bolt.
Yeah,
G2 knows this is going to pull a big rotation, so they say, oh, we need to be elsewhere here.
They said, never mind. I mean, speak of a big rotation, that is all of Shopify vacating the C region of the map. Amy immediately says, let me go through Garage, and we're just trying to get back in fast. It's a flood from Shopify.
Hey, they're in the back of the site here, ready to fight. Relay Bolt, though, going to be connecting. Vanya get to emerge, but Petra's already gotten herself onto the board and rescues in the back corner of the site. It's a massacre! It's just Sarah left standing, and Amy finds her third and puts her down.
And the G2 don't win pistol round allegations. Defeated. They're gone. It's done. It's a wrap. They are winning pistols today. Heads up from Amy as soon as there was that call of the Shopify rotation coming in when that recon connected. She knew it was time to start getting some space of her own. Begins to clear out Garage so the G2 rotate can get in. SR are so happy to fight for these floods, and often it's Noya actually kind of getting back in first, and then the rest of the team follow up if it's her site, right? They are confident in those situations, and G2, they fought them at the choke.
This is Haven working against you. SR see everything over at A. They fall into the trap of rotating into it, as you probably would. A tough map to cover, you're spread thin. And speaking of which, SR opt not to do that this round. They're stacked on A. Just the President over at the C side.
Just a slow contact up C long. G2 certainly intending on finishing on that side. At least for now, they're going to draw back and play a bit slower. Touched on it prior, but G2 certainly compared to the field, one of the teams on attack that like to really take their time, get information piece by piece, deal with utility here and there. Amy getting a little bit more aggressive though. She's the one player with just the ghost. Cypher takes a bit more, or some more liberties in a situation like this. Punishes Noya.
Yeah, finds the timing beautifully there as Noya tries to react to the fault line. So what we should expect to see in a situation like this is SR grouping up towards their spawn, just close enough, of course, to perish to the spike blast. Or may have other ideas here, just in case someone is pushed ahead of it.
Did invest into the Sheriff as Floor, so
That is true.
wants to try and at least claim one.
Let's see. Trip there. A knee on the corner. Okay, that's that Sheriff now knocked loose. The rest of SR, if you are in the venue, you probably see them hoping to discuss a little bit what the next round should look like for them. They might simply want to punish a push up like this from Amy. Fault line. She deftly dodges it. And at least gets something for it, but
Gymnastics.
and there's a number of orbs just handed over.
Little cartwheel to the left. Finds another. Why not?
Do-si-do. And there it is. Mel will 360 her way out of the round.
When you're that Ghost player, you take your liberties, you go for some fights on the Cypher. Why not? And then you're going to
Neural theft available.
buy something else into this round. Yeah, that's a great ult to have early. It's used at the right moment. Turn the round in your favor.
Amy.
Great move.
Amy.
Padding the stats a little bit. 18 and 10 now for Amy. Not too bad. Picks up the Guardian now. Fair bonus buy for G2.
G2 just trying to keep it calm here. It's been a pretty competitive game so far.
Standing ahead.
Really want to keep the energy ready when they need it.
That's Shopify looking to get proactive towards A. Paranoia comes out a bit late. Mel really wants to fight forward. The res Qs. Guardians along.
Hey, very low. Mel sees it coming, catches her out.
Yeah, that's G2 just overcommitting a bit, but they are on a fast pivot to C. They'll have to deal with Noya. We'll see if SR can get in position to flood this or if they just play for the full retake, the safer option of the two.
Play off the kill trip, I think, here. There is one at the back of the site. Petra's trying to clear it, though. It is still there. Amy gets picked up here. She tried to get into window by the looks of things.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit too fast.
Was well watched by the rest of SR. Ooh, Petra! This is the first shot. Floor now in a position to do some real damage. Mimi pretty exposed on the site now as Nohit just always seems to find a rewrap. And Mimi holding her ground though. These weaker weapons for G2 though will let them down. SR shut the bonus down.
The G2 not dealing any significant damage to SR either, so Shopify walk away from this about as clean as it can possibly get. G2's economy, obviously though, still very strong after retaining all of those weapons in their bonus round. They came into this with about 3K apiece. Amy trying to recreate what Noya was able to find success with so often on Shopify's attacking half, which are those post-plant flanks.
For Noya, it's a matter of being able to fall off that site into a retake position without getting caught. Something she wasn't able to do on the pistol this time, though. She falls off and then rewraps through garage. Always so active.
G2 are again focused. Hey, well, all right, decent way to open a round, I suppose. Just a little auto aim.
Petra taking the fight.
Someone needs to inspect the mouse, the hardware, the software.
Do check her PC. Peripherals. Reaction time.
May make Amy feel like she needs to do something more proactive to reduce the deficit.
She's trying to cause a bit of a ruckus through B. She's actually in on the B side. So we'll see how that goes. Yep, okay, winning out against Sarah now. Might have opened a door here for G2. Vanya deals with Mel. Rescue pushing up, but she's got support this time. And Alexis needs to hold it down. Ooh, not bad. Mimi really unaffected by that. Now we have a 2 versus 2 set up for his floor into heaven. It's well and truly smoked out, though.
Mimi is playing so aggro. G2 activate across the map. So much utility here from Mimi. Keep your eyes on that.
Or this is awkward now. She has to play across in heaven. Oh, you're not ready for that! Rescue flattened. Floor now can fall back as Noya takes a moment to emerge onto the site. That is so hard to retake. It's Haven. You're at a 2v2. You're locked out of the site by smokes. Unreal.
And Mimi with a wealth of utility to offer up, but just doesn't matter when Floor goes for that jump peek, instant headshot. I loved how prior in the round G2 really activated this fast timing. Amy, I think, oddly, uncharacteristically, forcing things in that round. She found the first, which, you know, at that point, they're at a disadvantage. They want to go for something. That's understandable. But she can fall off after finding that kill. Retreat to her teammates on A, goes for more, and is traded out. Unfortunate. G2 put themselves in a great position to win the round, and now they're forced onto the eco.
Indulge me for a moment, Wyatt, as I just appreciate how competitive this series has been. This map, no exception. Into round 17, it is a tied game, but G2 are lacking in terms of arsenal. Right floor. Petra ready for that, though.
Testing G2's reaction time, peeking out of doors in mid. Falls back.
Right here.
Holds it more. A safe position.
Pings here for SR. Because they're dark cover, they don't know if someone's been embedded on the right side of that doorway from Mel's perspective. Doesn't want to get caught with util in hand here. Floor falls off that line and will allow Amy, again, who has been so proactive, to explore into garage. Petra's in deep trouble here, though, just doesn't have the weapon to get herself out alive, and Lexus is more than happy to face down. Rescue and Amy get something done. And then Amy kills over at B again. She's always able to find something here.
Amy picks someone off on this rotate. Obviously, she's getting a ton of information. She hears all of the footsteps headed towards spawn.
She's in the walls.
She is ready for this. Amy is looking to plant on.
Hunter's Fury here.
Sid, no way does Amy catch Sarah right now. Mid-ult. No, she's going to do it. It's a free kill.
30 seconds left.
All right, Amy brings Sarah down. It was a fake over at B that draws out the Hunter's Fury. And in come Shopify Rebellion. Again, have to win a 2 versus 2 retake on the A side. Amy looking towards Sewer. Mimi's very, very low on the side here. It's a fault line over towards Heaven as that trip stops Alexis from getting into the site so far. They need to get rid of it, and we'll try and explode with Floor from behind it. Amy now is ready. They know where to be looking. Here's the fast lane. Floor is in the side now. Mimi trying to go around the left-hand side on the box, but Alexis brings her down. Amy's in a 1 versus 2 here. Shopify Rebellion have an ultimate even to play off of here, but it's going to be Floor who tries to go for it. It's not to half yet, and Amy saves them again! Time and time again! Emerging in the clutch, 4 kills on the round. By the way, it's supposed to be safe for G2.
A light little 23 on the board, has been getting so active on this attacking side. To her own detriment on the prior rounds, immediate redemption. Shopify got completely scrambled in the communication there. After that fake tap from Mimi, they completely misunderstood the situation, threw them off entirely. Hunter's Fury gets triggered. Sarah thought that Amy could be coming from B. You saw her crosshair was ready for that potential push earlier, then felt like, no, they just went elsewhere together, surely, right? Well, they were together, but they were pathing back to A the entire time. Absolutely melted their minds on the rotate.
Amy has a soul read on Shopify Rebellion right now. These attack side lurks have been so unpredictable. Noya, when she was on the attack side, was playing very differently, really wanting just to keep Rescue at bay, sit back, punish like these push-ups from the enemy Neon.
Yeah, her lurking was a lot more, when she was lurking, when she took action, it was delayed. Amy, there is no delay right now.
She's going for it.
She is going for everything.
And it's the timing of that seems to be causing Shopify a lot of issues.
And in some of these situations, I mean, brother, why not? She is 23 and 12. After she got that 4K a few rounds in, she said, "No, time to fight everybody. I'm on point.
There's that X factor
I'm
here,
winning
Wyatt.
this game."
So SR now down to a couple of sheriffs. They do have the hero rifle for Floor. Pop here from mid again. Gonna be a trade. Floor gets the 1. Okay, that's being a 2 for 2 here.
Not bad when you're coming into the round with no real weapons to speak of. There was that one Vandal, sure. And G2 crossing the T's, dotting their I's, just cycling weapons off the map right now in case Shopify go for them later into the round if there's some kind of retake situation in our future.
See, SR really racking their brains to try and give themselves some semblance of a stack at an important site. Mel might be caught off the timing here. Yep, Mimi finds a 3rd.
Just wants to get info more actively, shut down for it. looks into the stack. SR, they do have a crossfire here if G2 try to force B, but they slow things down again.
This is so good. Noya wins it out somehow. And she sees a spike go loose. No time for neural theft on that corpse, by the way. Too far away from it.
That is really tough for Mimi. Just can't be losing that.
If Noya's allowed to get in a rewrap position, yep, there's a neural theft coming through now. G2's plans will be laid bare. And SR know it's at C.
There is some counter info there, though. At the very least, G2 know they can get into C, right? Nobody's there, so they're getting into the site. Noya right now, though. Amy totally unaware.
Oh,
no.
Into it. What?
Forced off by the aftershock. Tried to go for safety, but landed in the jaws of Noya. Oh, no. No.
Talk about buy one, get one free. Wow, these two teams drifting each other back and forth.
And the air has been sucked out of the room, at least temporarily.
Let's look at how this goes down. So,
stealing that away.
Early defensive pop. Noya just wins an unreasonable fight there against Mimi. Sees a spike go down and... Oh, come on. I do not think that is remotely reasonable, personally, but here we are. 9 apiece here heading into round 19. Rolling Thunder up for both sides. Guns, though, looking pretty stinky for G2.
He's got that rifle. We'll see if it ends up being heroic or if she just can't extract any value from it. Let's take this engagement. Oh, wow, and does win that against Floor with the Outlaw in hands.
Lived long enough to become the hero, apparently. Rescued Lid by that one, though. Alexis able to swoop in. Snap up her. Pretty straightforward kill. Nick how much we are. Mel is, she is actually, dropping down. Gets one, okay. Here's the neural theft. Amy's built a lot of those, and Noya. It all goes wrong for Vanya 2 rounds in a row. How frustrating. GT still have 2 players to work with, and Hunter's Fury in a post plant. It's going to be a rolling thunder, though. That's going to stop a plant from going down. Amy's caught out in the open. Reeling now as Alexis waits. She'll actually take the swing. Forces the shot from Amy, but Alexis has no backup. Had to win that, and she stands tall. Petra's going to cross a lot of map to get towards the spike, and Alexis gets a 3K round. The last few rounds have been ridiculous.
Oh, things are getting messy. Perhaps the nerves of this situation becoming a factor. That should have been so free. That would have been a rifle recovered. The site wide open. Mel took a risk there dropping down. Vanya was just so certain that was going to be a headshot. And it connected to the shoulder. Alexis wins with that pre-fire jiggle swing. Oh, Mimi looks stunned on cam.
It's getting a bit muddy, Wyatt, I'm going to be honest with you. All right,
oh my God, what the hell?
Floor has a quick push out. She also used the relay bolt to set up that pick onto rescue. Explosion there from SR leaves G2 wondering now how to fill the gaps.
That Floor just slips right out of there as fast as she got into bottom mid. Mental speed, Amy now. We'll see if she tries to get as proactive as she's been in these man-down situations. On the previous round, she really tried to go forward and find a duel to take. But Noya has played this site very passively. It's just about retake here on A for Shopify.
Yeah, it's all about maintaining the backside of the A side behind those trips, so cam is cleared.
And Amy is pre-firing heaven there because often when it is just the solo side for on A, they will be in heaven in a cam.
Okay. I don't know if SR want to be forced into a retake here. They are setting up. Trip on the left side of the side is actually still there, but Floor's gone down here. Oh, Petra revealed as she tries to go for the plant. They also have a good idea where Vanya is right now. Link. Cybercade's thrown up, but she doesn't opt to pass through it. She would have been seen by Alexis had she done so. And there's a rolling thunder here for this post-plant attempt. Thrown out over towards that Link side here. And Amy wants to capitalize, but the paranoia is going to stop her in her tracks. She still wants to play close off that cam. TP from Vanya now into Hell to make sure she can't be picked off. SR have got to make this happen. 3 players set up in heaven. They might look to flood from this spot. Aftershot's going to force them out here. Tag on Zero. She drops here. Vanya has to receive, and she does. Mimi locks it down, and it's up to Mel to step up. But this is an ill-fated retake attempt if I've ever seen one. She'll be brought to heel, and G2 get a crucial round back.
It seems like any G2 player that makes a mistake, they're ready for redemption the very next round. Vanya with the perfect 2-piece while they were flooding out of that window. Mimi instant swing from Sewer to pick off the third, and all the while Amy was ready for any player to try to enter through main. 3 versus 4, but they make it look oh so easy. Out of that, Effie's calling the timeout for SR. As we head into a pivotal round for the North American side, it's their entire economy on the line.
And we've seen G2 go back to a little bit more of a simpler approach there, Wyatt, right? Amy's just determined to ask for a little bit more. As she explores that A site on her own, when she gets the Cypher camera, she says, you know what? They're not on the site. They're not anchoring here. We are going to force them into a retake. We've got Ole Util still. Mimi sitting there by Sewer, ready to cover any sort of positioning from heaven. And again, it's the same woes that so many defensive sides face on this map. Retaking A is a nightmare.
And it's Fluorescent there just straying a little bit far forward, but not even to the extent where you would say she's seriously overextending. It's just running into an Amy that is going to press the issue on every round right now. That is something that Shopify are going to just really need to be keenly aware of as we get into the very end of this game. She is exploiting the holes that she's finding in their defensive setups, finding the important picks, 26 kills. This is just been a game of ciphers.
We're in an econ danger zone here for SR as well. So a bit of an inflection point now in the later part of this regulation. It's one round that might be worth 2 here.
We're going to have a big clash in A main. Fault line ready to go from Alexis as Fluorescent pushes up long, standard recon, dark cover, all of that regular control utility coming out from the defenders. She's going to be forced to re-clear at some point if they want to head back into the A side.
And honestly, a lot of the extremities of the map have been taken over. Mel's pushed up deep on C side behind that camera of Noya she can play off of.
A lot of work to be done for G2 in regard to the map control game. Headed towards Garage, breaking the trip there would certainly be a start as the drone clears things out.
Mel has a TP to play with here. Great for info or to reinforce a site that does get pressured.
Anya wants to find that camera, but unaware that it's positioned so far and long, as you mentioned, gaining some very crucial information for Shopify to control their rotates.
Petra really does not try to do too much on that C side. Checks it briefly. Floor's about to get busy. No coverage inside Sui here. Turns the flash and in comes Rescue. Exposes herself immediately to Floor, who now looks to reposition and takes down Amy. That's not exactly what G2 are looking for on the A side. Now they're opted to go over towards Garage. Vanya has gotten deep though.
Garage is the only place that they know is really open.
Noya opts to play on the site. She's under deep threat, of course, towards spawn side. Floor doesn't check. Bam! Petra's ready for it. Elsewhere, Alexis also fell. That was over on the B side here, so G2 aren't in there.
They've been able to pivot. This is a wonderful call from Mimi. Spike is going to go down. The plant position is a little bit awkward. No natural place to spam it.
Sarah also on a late wrap here. Through mid. Crowd getting loud for the home team here. This is one round that could be worth 2 for G2.
At this point, it's just about duels and crossfires. Mimi wins the first.
Mel feels like she's going to go for a TP onto the boxes. She's here with the paranoia, but they don't know if she's there yet. She's inside the dark cover. Sarah trying to help her out with some vision on the side, but Petra's going to bring it down. Led by the recon, but it's up to Sarah here to try and dig her out of that corner. The shocks just aren't going to cut it. Eventually, she swings out and falls. Sarah's only got 6 in the chamber. 6 bullets.
Concentrate, Sova.
And not a lot of time to work with here. Mimi gets ahead of it. And G2 get to 11.
And that was a masterful rotate at the very end. They had no control of the map, but exploited what they did have access to, which was Garage. It was Vanya finding that pick, and SR over-rotating, thinking that they were going to be headed through Garage to C, but Petra took a risk not being with her teammates to some extent, but it did pay off. Catching Floor completely unaware and setting up in the site together, forcing Shopify onto the eco, as you said, a round worth 2.
Yep, to avoid the overtime.
Well, this could get very dangerous for G2. There are many Shopify players ready to go, stacked up on C.
Here we go.
Okay, fault line, they're going to go for it here. The relay bolt thrown out defensively there by Rescue slows up SR, reveals the plans to G2. They're going to force the issue wide. They're going to go for it. Floor pushes up. Petra set on the corner. Brought down. That's 1. Elsewhere, though, what are SR doing? They're all grouped up here. Their eggs are in this basket outside of a paltry minimum presence over at the B side.
Is Rescue really going to stay? Okay, she does hear the rest of SR falling back. This is dangerous. Faces a drone.
Sarah also thinks to double back. She does have that Hunter's Fury.
And in the meantime, G2, Vanya, they've placed the dark covers over onto this A site. The camera is broken. They'll have to deal with one more trip, but the spike should go down. Still superior weaponry, but down in numbers.
Quartet of SR now rotating back through their spawn. Full retake. It's not what they want to have to do on this map, but they've got no choice now. Mel has TP as well.
And for G2, Mimi has her entire kit ready to go to stifle this retake effort.
And there's not much time here. SR have gotten to the site pretty late. At some point, they're going to have to throw caution to the wind and go for it. It's going to be an overdrive here, getting popped by Rescue now, holding the door, but Mel's found Mimi already. Hunter's Fury coming into the site. Mel gets there, sees the TP from Vanya and looking for another target. It's Rescue fighting 2 with the overdrive. 3! What can't she do? They're all burning down, and a clean ace for Rescue. Apparently, lightning strikes 5 times.
Out of nowhere, we called on Rescue at the very top of this map that she needed to step up. The Neon has been where she's had struggles in this tournament. Overdrive popped to rescue this round that SR had no reason to try to really win. I mean, horrendous buy into it. They committed ultimates. You can see what this means to everybody rooting for G2, from the fans to the coaches. My God, SR on the full buy now to catch their breath. They could taste an upset win in that round, and their hopes were dashed away.
Taking us to sunset, which really feels like a coin flip. SR picking Haven, feeling confident. It's a map they've always called upon in times of need. This time it's not a safe haven, hostile territory for them.
Amy is just trying to passively control A while the rest of G2 work towards B. Mimi eyes on Garage as well. Paranoia to enter in. Rescue team are punished.
Sarah here ready to receive that. Petra though is just going to squeeze that corner. Get a good amount of damage onto Sarah, but not able to bring it down ultimately. Okay. Plot armor for Sarah. 9 HP and she falls off that line.
Recon now out for Petra as well. That went towards the B link. Doesn't spot anyone out. They tap the spike. They want to see what the reaction from SR will be. Utility extracted now from the defenders as Amy picks up the angle, finds the shot.
Amy just wants to take these fights. Look at her push into this. She's not needed on the spike location, but here comes Floor to try and save the day, and it's up to Mimi. Leader of G2 to try and close the map.
30 seconds left.
Neural Theft, of course, will ping her out and make it clear to SR where she is headed. Camera also to confirm.
This is a nightmare.
Here they come. The cavalry arrives, and SR stay alive on Haven.
Both teams are so willing to fight as a unit against each other in link. It looked like it was all going so well for G2 when Amy picked up the angle, found that initial kill.
I'm out of here.
Alexis swung. I mean, Sarah getting one at 9 HP as well when that shocked. I mean, you said plot armor. Don't know how she survived that shock dart. Looked pretty damn close to me. Looked pretty damn close to me.
Should have been cooked.
Do we get OT 2 maps in a row?
G2 have got big ults here, and even Hunter's Fury they can pick up with an orb take here, Wyatt. Both initiator ultimates to end the map. I like those odds.
Fast presence being shown towards C as the one-way is placed from Vanya onto the default box.
There it is.
My ult is ready.
Hunter's Fury.
And now you have both initiator ultimates to work off of as the G2 side to close this map out. They have the advantages that they need. They even have some better weaponry. There's Guardians on the side of Shopify as well. SR look like they're reading this rotate to some extent, though. You have Sarah wandering closer towards A. You still have the setup between Alexis and Fluorescent. The dynamic duo of SR, they are ready on this A site to fight.
God, it's an outside chance, but if Alexis finds 2 kills here, she has a Rolling Thunder of her own.
Look at how deep Noya is inserted on C right now. It's allowing SR to drift elsewhere.
Here they come, Rolling Thunder for the attackers. Rescue stunned up on the fault line, so won't be the first in, but Amy's more than happy to take these kind of fights. Hunter's Fury from Petra, what a connection. Alexis brought down, that's the opportunity for a breach ornament for SR taking off the ball. What was that from Sarah? Through the smoke gets her 1, then evens up the numbers. Here's the Neural Theft now. They're all going to be lit. Mel playing on the other side of the cyber cage, has to keep moving and drops the spike carrier. It's Floor versus Petra in the 1 versus 1 to force overtime. The spike is out there on the site.
You can't ask for more fiery 1v1 than this. 2 of the best aimers that we've got in the scene.
10 seconds left.
Petra stands up, looking at a deliver, but Floor will take us to overtime on Haven.
It's just not enough time for Petra to work with. Too many angles to clear, and Floor not going to miss a shot like that.
We talk about this.
I mean, there's just no reason in hell that Sarah should be able to get a kill there. Just a tap. Just a tap.
Yes, I find myself in agreement. Lovely fans in the arena.
Oh, Coach Leader just stunned.
Oh, I mean,
stunned.
Yeah.
They had the game in their hands. That utility combo of the Recon and the Fault Line that had both of the anchors for Shopify lit up into the Hunter's Fury. It should have been Raps. Sarah gets one there, maybe, because she's Sarah, because she can hit that crazy shot. There's just no good reason she should be getting 2.
Here comes overtime on a map that's been a cure for hypertension. Sees G2 on the defense side. And Rescue already taking a foray down sewer. And she sees a lot. She's called this out. She's seen multiple bodies there coming out of lobby.
Time Rescues. Just eyes on sewer. Petra has been caught in this situation prior, but will back up. There are 3 players from G2 who are ready to fight.
Uncomfortable fault line floors in there. Very aggressive, but Rescue's able to fight. Oh, Petra, a lovely little swing. And now down to 3 RSR. They're committed to this now. They are 2 feet in. Alexis finds one coming out of sewer. Noya also good for the singular one. And here it is. Another for Noya. Vanya sitting in the back of the side towards Link. She has got to get out. Maybe allow for a plant to go down.
Just wants to link up with Amy. Yeah, that is the timing. That is the moment where they can try to get in. But with the rotation from Amy to Heaven, things are going to stall out. Alexis fake taps first to see if they do flood in. Wants to be able to swing for Noya.
She's got to know about Heaven. Alexis very wary of where Amy could be posted up. Bit of early damage. Elsewhere, Ivania needs to get activated. Dark cover thrown at the back of the site. Gonna lock SR in. Amy now knows where both players are, but it doesn't matter because Vania's not there on the timing she needs. Oh, the rolling thunder of all things. It's gonna force Vania well and truly off the site.
Noya makes a great reposition towards sewer as well. That should lock this round up. This should be unwinnable.
No util left for Vania. Just pure grit, determination, and gun skill. She's got nothing to see. She can't find Alexis, who just wraps around behind the boxes and finds the timing. Shopify Rebellion have a match point.
And those remaining 2 players, they could just be anywhere. That's impossible for Vanya to win. This series has absolutely lived up to the hype. It deserves 2 back-to-back overtimes. The first one was extended by attack round win after attack round win for both sides. We'll see if that is the same on Haven. If G2 can stay in this in front of the home crowd on home soil.
3 rounds in a row won by Shopify Rebellion. And now on the attack side, G2 need to put their heads together. Much like we saw over on Abyss, these overtime rounds really put the pressure and the stress down on you. Leader, of course, has been very vocal about how stressed he's been feeling sat there in the coaching box, and for good reason. What is the silver bullet for G2 to get them to 13 rounds?
So we've had these 2 teams match up at every GCC, but none of those games have been as close as this one. Either side winning 3 maps to the other and losing 3. We are dead even in this rivalry between Mel and Alexis, the core of SR, Petra and Mimi, the core of G2 goes in.
Most iconic players in GCC.
It's been going on for years.
There's certainly a score to settle today.
They always meet in this upper bracket final. SR bested them last year. Can they do it again here? Can G2 just keep clawing back to win the map pick of the NA side? Bring this to sunset.
Off we go. Round 26. G2 will be attacking here. Hoping for some action here over towards Garage, but
I got Spike.
might pull back here over towards Defender Spawn.
Spike thrown over to Rescue, which does imply that they're going to try to go for a fast tap on B. You know, maybe not fully commit. Maybe they just use it to get some utility out of the defense.
Oh!
There's that fast lane. It just immediately caught. No one dealing with the
They
trip.
tried to. The shock dart was too far forward, I think. Or not enough to the side. It's unclear. Either way, G2 now down to 4. Mel trying to win it out. She gets the better of Petra inside Garage, but it's going to be traded by Vanya. Noya, a little more reluctant about getting involved in the fight. She's happy just to relay these sound cues over to the rest of the team. Sarah now wants to turn the lights on, and Amy goes into the smoke. Surely not a second from Sarah. Would have been unreasonable again. But a player advantage, G2 is short-handed and yet to plant.
And as SR get closer, it's getting more dangerous when Mimi plants this spike.
It's a fake. She gets up off of it. Noya's looking for the right time to emerge here. Floor, oh my goodness, she attracts a lot of attention. And there's Mimi falling for the second year in a row. Shopify Rebellion will advance to a GCC Grand Final.
And for the second year in a row, besting G2 in the exact same part of the bracket in the upper final. And the last year was a 2-1. This one was far closer. Double OT, frankly. Mitch, that's what we deserve from this absolute iconic rivalry, not just between the two teams, between those two duos that we mentioned. Mel and Alexis, who've been together since the beginning in Americas. And on the opposite side, Petra and Mimi, same in EU. What a banger. Every player stepped up in crucial moments. Amy went insane for G2 on Haven. ResQ as well on the Neon, stepped up in that game, had her moments.
And what a showing from European expat Neuer. Ends the game 25-17, tasked with trying to keep ResQ quiet, keep her at bay. And that Cypher performance was one you're going to look back on fondly.
This Shopify team is so deadly in their current form. It's an iteration of this team that isn't just the fluorescent show that people try to attribute them as, right? It's also a team that has Neuer in the best form she's ever been in. She came into this tournament off of her best run in a regional Game Changers tournament ever, putting up 0.9 kills per round, which is goddamn insane for a Sentinel player, and has continued that now against the best teams globally.
Well, we have gotten everything we could have asked for except for the extra map in this series. Talk about two teams leaving it all out there, and the tough news for G2 is they've got to turn around and look towards a lower bracket that features Zipto and MIBR. Two teams salivating at the thought of an opportunity to fight against them, to make their way to a grand final. SR are going to be looking on, prepared for whoever comes their way.
Two absolute powerhouse teams. And we do live in a reality where there is potential for the G2 versus Brazil lower bracket final. Things are going in the exact same pattern as last year. For the hopeful G2 fans, maybe a different end.
Let's send it down to Yinsu over on the stage for our Verizon post-match interview.
What an incredible series that was. I'm now joined by Sarah here for the post-match interview. Now, first of all, congratulations, another grand finals. It feels like at this point, people expect you to reach there. How does it feel for you to get there and to know that you're kind of fulfilling everyone's expectations here?
Pretty good. I'm definitely excited to go for the two-peat. That was a really fun series, so yeah, it feels pretty good.
And speaking of that series being really fun, it felt like some of the rounds, you know, on that Haven when it was like 8-8, it was crazy. It was so chaotic. How do you guys thrive in this chaos? It feels like you enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of VALORANT. That's just how the game is. Definitely, we were a little bit nervous some of those maps, so some of the rounds got away from us. But this game is always going to be chaotic, especially in the current meta with Neon sliding everywhere and just insane stuff going on all the time. But yeah, I don't know. We're just used to it. We play a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much do you think your experience as a team kind of help you in these situations? Because it feels like you level up when things get dicey.
I mean, definitely experience helps a lot, especially with getting nerves on stage. I think the first time around in Brazil, maybe we wouldn't have won that series, so.
Now, I got to ask you, the last time you made the final, you dropped one map on your way there. It was against G2, this time flawlessly. How do you maintain this level of success?
Just a lot of VALORANT, a lot of grind. We've scrimmed every day here. We maybe had one off day. So, I mean, we're all exhausted, but we're hoping to get that dub, get the win.
Honestly, at this point, it feels like you're on your way to, definitely, for sure. But I wanted to rewind a little bit, starting off with Abyss as well. The comp change, what was the reason behind that?
Yeah, we honestly just felt like, I actually think that the Vice comp is really good on that map, but we kind of felt like we showed it in GC. It's like a little bit anti-stratable. This comp is just really like consistent and easy to play. There's less room for error when you're like nervous on stage. So I think we're glad we changed, but I do think the Vice is really good.
Also, when Floor had her little bit of an oopsie, you know, Effie's was laughing as well. He was saying that he found it quite funny. I saw all of you guys on stage just having fun with it. How do you find the humor in things when things are so intense on stage?
I think we just try our best to have fun, really. At the end of the day, like, we're here to have fun. Playing on stage is really fun. The more fun you have, like, the easier it is to win, less nervous you are. When we have good vibes, that's usually when we're winning, so.
How good are the vibes? Can you give me an insight?
Pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yeah, even better than last year as well?
Yeah, I would say so.
Ooh, okay. And lastly, before I let you go, you got to play against someone in the grand finals. There's still 3 teams left. Who do you think is going to make it? Who would you like to face?
Honestly, that series was really fun. I'd like to play G2 again, but also we haven't played MIBR yet. So either way, I'm happy.
All right, thank you very much for joining me. One more time, everybody, for Sarah. All right, Shopify, they have made it to the final. It's time to find out what's going to happen in the lower bracket, so make sure you stay in tuned for MIBR versus Zipto.
Welcome to Rebel Homeground.
홈으로도 2023 챔피언! What is that?
Red Bull gives you wings.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.